Why did he apologize?
Alright, so first things first, this video is not monetized. I'm not about to pull a CC in the big 2026. I'm making this in regard to my last video about Sykkuno. I want to clarify how this video came to be, while also taking accountability and apologizing for the mistakes that I made. At the same time, I also want to clear up some...
Pause. How many likes versus dislikes? 38 to 11k. That is signaling to me that this guy had a half decent apology. Let us continue.
Information spread about me over the last few days. This video was meant to come out a bit earlier, but I was told by someone in the know that Sykkuno might release a joint statement with his girlfriend, so I chose to wait for that first, just in case. I'll also be going through that later in the video. So, how did this all begin? Well, for me, it was on April 7th when I was reached out to by Mal for the first time. I was told that a Google Doc was releasing soon about a big content creator, and this is when I was asked if I wanted access to it early to maybe make a video about it. The document was going to publicly release on the 10th anyway. This means that this wasn't some grand conspiracy, okay? This document was going to release with or without me. And while yes, rumors of Sykkuno's behavior have been floating around for a while now between certain content creator circles, none of this was gonna really convince me to make an early video. If you've watched my channel before, then you'd know that I'm someone who highly values both sides of the story. It's actually something that I always implore you to do before forming your own opinions.
However,
and while I do receive so many DMs about scoops or exclusive info about certain topics, I mostly never take them, always choosing to wait for things to unfold in public first before making my videos. What made the situation special though was the 17-minute video recording of the voice call between Mal and Sykkuno. My logic here was simple. It was me thinking that we already had the other side of the story, and it was Sykkuno admitting to his wrongdoings in the most raw and unfiltered way possible. So I figured that was enough. At the same time, I thought that since my channel had grown exponentially, don't ask me how or why because I have no idea, I could maybe use my platform for a good cause.
No, I'm gonna stop you right there. I don't know much about this Mujin dude, but when he says that he has no idea why his YouTube channel blew up, like look, 1.3 million views, 3.2 million views, 1.5 million views, 2 million, 1.3, 1.3 million views. You know what this is? If you make videos specifically jumping on drama as quickly as possible, I am willing to bet 99% of the time you know exactly what you're doing. People love drama. I love drama. I reacted to the Sykkuno video that this guy made. I want to know what's happening. Drama farms views. People love drama. People love a little bit of spice. Especially when somebody gets exposed. Ooh, that is such a tasty word. Exposed. He knows exactly why he blew up. He chose drama to farm, and that is how he got his bag. But it's a double-edged sword. You present the drama wrong, then you look like the bad guy. And the moment you get villainized on the internet, it doesn't matter what you do. You can have God rip the clouds open, ascend down into the earth, and say, this man is innocent. And people still won't believe you. People will still hate you.
Spreading awareness about Sykkuno's behavior so that no one else gets tricked into being a homewrecker against their will, while in parallel, encouraging others who have been wronged by him to finally speak up. Additionally, seeing that the person speaking up was doing so from a small account, I figured I could help amplify that message to spread maximum awareness. Yes, some people could definitely argue that I was desperate for a topic to bring in views, but to me it didn't matter because I was already lucky enough to be able to cover niche topics I enjoy and still somehow reach over 1 million views on them. Again, don't ask me how because
these aren't niche topics. You're making videos about popular video games and the top content creators. Marvel Rivals is a popular game. You talk about drama there. You literally have a 1.5 million view video about Tens and Kaide. They're not niche. They're mainstream content creators. This is not niche at all.
I don't know, but that was just the reality. Here's the thing though. Releasing the video around the same time as the document meant that I was taking a substantial risk by putting my channel's reputation on the line. I knew this, even at the time, but it was a risk I was willing to take if it meant that I was doing the right thing. Unfortunately though, it didn't really work out as I had hoped, and I ended up making mistakes that I need to take accountability for, which is why we're here today. The
Okay.
first mistake can be found in the intro of the video, and it's me using the word predator. Yes, it was my idea, and the logic behind it was me trying to encompass everything, like the serial cheating, lying, and deliberate targeting of smaller content creators into one word. Before using it, I even made sure to double check its definition in multiple dictionaries, which said things like a person or an organization that uses weaker people for their own advantage, or one who injures or exploits others for personal gain or profit.
You also fail to realize that you're using a regular dictionary. Slang exists, man. In case if people don't realize, when you call somebody a predator online, there's usually the attachment that they're a pedophile. Like those two things go hand in hand. I don't think you're gonna go to Merriam-Webster's dictionary and type in predator and have the number one definition say a pedophile. That is slang. That's how the internet rolls. They attach more meanings to certain words that traditionally the word doesn't encompass. Does this guy not account for that?
Due to this, I had to come to the conclusion that, yeah, this word fits. I'd find out quickly afterwards, though, that for many people, that word is only reserved to describe pedophiles or sexual predators, which made a substantial amount of people feel misled after watching the intro of my video. It made it seem like a hit piece, exaggerating things, and it also made it seem like Sykkuno had committed very serious crimes, enough to land him in a high-security prison or something, when that clearly wasn't the case. That was not my intention at all, and I'm sorry for that. From now on, I'll only use that word to refer to pedophiles or sexual predators. That's
Do I feel misled? I mean, if I'm looking back on it in hindsight, I don't think I was misled. Because as the drama was unfolding, there was never there was never anything that I saw online where it was like this person was underage. So when people said predator, I'm gonna be honest, I kind of ignored it because the way I understood the situation was just, if I had to give a very big TLDR of this whole situation, Sykkuno is just a cheater, but he's not a pedophile. That's how I would describe it, and I think that that's what this guy was trying to do. But because he used the word predator, I can understand why other people would hear that and go, this guy likes kids under the age of 18, which is not accurate. As much as I don't like Sykkuno, even I have to admit that's not what happened. This guy is not a pedophile. This guy is just a serial cheater. This guy likes getting attention from hot girls online. I would watch more of this video because there's a reason I now don't like this guy. Okay?
That's it, no exceptions. I'd also like to say that yes, the video was rushed. It simply didn't meet the quality standard that you expect of me, and that's without even mentioning that it was clearly biased and didn't attempt to see different viewpoints. There's a reason I don't typically reach out to people involved in public incidents, because it's very easy to form bias after you communicate directly with them. It's just human. So yeah, what Mal said at the end of her call with Sykkuno was off-putting, and it wouldn't have hurt for me to point that out. I get that. I was instead more focused on Sykkuno's admittance of guilt. I'm sorry for letting you guys down in that regard. You trust me with a certain quality standard, and I just couldn't deliver it this time. And that's on me. I also want to apologize to Sykkuno's girlfriend. In the 17-minute video of the voice recording, there was one frame, which represents 1/60th of a second that wasn't blurred, and it leaked to the group chat she was in when she found out that Sykkuno had been cheating on her with multiple people. This frame was enough for certain individuals to confirm her username, and it impeded on her privacy. I was not the one who handled blurring it, but I still included the entire thing in my own video and completely missed that detail. So I take...
I'm not surprised that this guy has an editor. Let me give credit where credit is due. I will respect him that he admitted that even though he has another person blurring things out, and he's admitting that he should have done his due diligence after the fact, I will give him credit there. Him being like, I know somebody else on my team did this, but I should have checked afterwards because this is my video. All right, I'll give you credit for that much. But I also think especially because this guy's been making videos for a long time. I feel like at this point in his YouTube career, this guy should have known very early that this video was a bad idea. Because he's saying in hindsight, right? This didn't meet my standards. I was biased. I had, I knew I was getting biased because I had direct contact with somebody that was on one side of the story and not the other. This guy knew everything, but he still went with it anyway. And now everything blew up in his face. He's going, well, you know what? I should have slowed down. I should have just not made the video. I should have waited to make the video. But bro knew these things way before. But do you know why he went for it, in my opinion? He wanted to strike the iron when it was hot. Because let's be honest, the sooner you can make a video about hot drama, the more people are going to click on your video because there's not as many videos out yet. This guy got blindsided, whether he wants to admit it or not, in my opinion, this guy was blindsided by the bag. But let's continue.
Full responsibility for that. I'm sorry. Now look, with all that being said, apologies are great, but there's no use presenting them if there's no attempt to act on them. And that's exactly what I intend to do. But first, I want to go through some misinfo that was spread about me in recent days and set the record straight. When the video first released, XQC reacted to it almost immediately and would spend his time defending Sykkuno while trying to undermine the things he's done to people. He would also comment on my video. In that comment, he'd make it seem like my problem with Sykkuno's behavior had to do with the lack of clout of the women he reached out to. In any case, what would happen next is a narrative that would form saying that I deleted his comment because I couldn't handle his unparalleled
Thank you for the ban. Appreciate you, Mrs. Lee.
That's false. It's still right here, along with all the wonderful comments left by his community too. I really don't know why he and some other content creators tried so hard to defend Sykkuno's behavior, as if he was their long-lost brother or something. All I know is that cheating has been shunned by humanity for thousands of years, regardless of gender. Maybe normalizing it now is probably a bad idea, but
I think this is a mistake, first and foremost. If you are making a video about, hey, I made a couple of mistakes in my last video and I'm here to clarify and take responsibility, don't put in a segment where you are shifting the lens to another content creator and saying, I don't know why they're commenting like this on my video because it's doing this, it's doing that. That, in my opinion, just ruins the video. Because you took a video that started off as a, I'm here to apologize and take responsibility, to being like, I'm going to talk about stuff that happened to me, but I also want to shift the spotlight on some other people that I don't like. So it comes off as being like, fuck you. You know what I mean? If you're going to make a video where you're like, I need to take responsibility and apologize for the things that I've done, you might as well just focus only on that. Like, I can understand how this guy feels being like, I don't know why this huge content creator was commenting on my video saying this and that. Save that for later. Or just don't say anything at all. You know what they teach us in psychology and trauma-informed care? Saying the word but just negates everything you said before it. Wait till you guys get farther in the video. He made me mad. It's interesting that you say that about the word but. Another thing I can add to that is when people say, I don't mean to be mean. Or like, yeah, it's basically if somebody starts off the sentence being like, I don't want to be mean, I will cut you off and say, then don't say it. Because I like me personally, I don't understand why some people are like, I want to say this mean thing, and in my head, I think it's okay for me to say it as long as I start off the sentence by saying, I'm not trying to be mean. Yeah, you are. Just don't say it.
Hey, you're free to form your own opinion. Go for it. Next, some people tried to claim that I changed my video's title because I was scared of a defamation lawsuit from Sykkuno. Sure, a random lawyer from Fiverr might claim that, but it's false. Here's a neat trick. You can go to a website like viewstats.com, go to any channel, we'll pick, I don't know, Mr. Beast, click on a video, and you'll actually be able to see any thumbnail or title changes since upload. Pretty cool, right? Now, if you were to do that with my video, you'd see that there were no thumbnail or title changes whatsoever since upload. So that's false. And look, defamation is about knowingly lying about someone in order to ruin their reputation. I had no intention of lying in my video about Sykkuno. And if I did want to lie, then wouldn't I have just simply removed the last 2 minutes of Mal and Sykkuno?
The road to hell is paved with good intentions. There's a reason why that saying exists. Sometimes you get so blindsided by you believing that you're doing a good thing that you end up just burning everything around you. There's a reason why that saying exists. There's a reason why sayings in general exists. It's because time and time again, that idea has been proven over and over. I don't understand why this guy has to take this segment and go, you guys are a bunch of liars because you guys are saying this about me and that about me. If it's not true, then it's not true. I feel like this guy could have taken satisfaction in the fact that I know for a fact that I did not do this, even if people are lying about me. I can rest easy knowing that I did not do that thing. And you know what? I can understand you wanting to just clear that up because you're trying to make it more known that you didn't do anything wrong, right? But it's so easy to fuck it up. Because when I just heard this guy's explanation, you know how I felt? It came off as condescending. You guys are stupid as fuck for thinking that I did this thing. Oh, let me show this proof. Oh, now you guys feel stupid. You guys are a bunch of liars. It comes off as antagonizing. And if you're trying to do that in a video where you preface everything by saying, I want to take responsibility, I want to clear things up, it ruins the entire thing. Why, bro? Why?
Sykkuno's voice call so that she looks way better and he looks way worse? It just doesn't make sense. I never make any video with the intention of lying. Period. And finally, when it comes to misinfo, there's also something else that honestly doesn't deserve attention at all, but I'll still mention it. And it's this weird rumor or fan fiction that some people made up saying that I only made this video to try and get with the women that were affected by Sykkuno's actions. Anyone who knows me or has ever spoken with me in the content creation sphere knows that I never even attempt to flirt. I keep things strictly professional. I take my platform very seriously and would never seek to use it in that way. It's simply not who I am. It's obviously also very disrespectful to anyone who was hurt by Sykkuno's actions, but it's not like the people peddling these rumors cared about them to begin with. Alright, so next up we have the joint statement that was posted by Sykkuno and his girlfriend. The first half would be written by Sykkuno. In it, he'd reiterate that he lied to people about being single and that he has been unfaithful to his girlfriend. He'd apologize and say that he'd be taking a break from streaming in order to better himself. He'd also call out anyone trying to frame him with false accusations. So yeah, as you can see, not much has changed. He's already admitted to these things in the voice call with Mal. When it comes to false accusations though, yes, there are stories that have circulated for years among some VTubers that accuse Sykkuno of doing worse than cheating. At this point though, it is not up to me to say whether it's true or not, just pointing out what he might be referring to. He could also be referring to the word predator, which I already apologized
Is this
for.
the part where you got really upset?
The second half of this statement would be written by his girlfriend. She'd express how hard this has all.
Okay, hold on. I'm interested. I want to read this for myself. This is from his girlfriend. Hi there. I want to start by saying thank you to those who have been checking on me and wishing me well during such a difficult time. It's been extremely heartbreaking to learn everything I know now, and going through this has been one of the hardest things I've ever been put through in my life. I've been tossed around from all sides. Me and my reality have been continuously shattered. Though no matter how broken I am, I never wanted this to be public. It deeply hurts me that I wasn't given a choice in that, or even just warned that this would be happening at all. I didn't want this. Even after the fact, I wish they would have at least checked in on me or asked me how I felt about everything, but I haven't heard anything from the people involved since this all came out. I understand that those involved with him have been hurt as well, but I don't believe my feelings were considered in this situation at all. Having my worst fears become my reality, then put on full display and used for profit for everyone to see is absolutely mortifying. It truly feels like a nightmare. It was already hard enough trying to work through things in private. This has just added another layer of difficulty and stress on top of everything. It's made it so much harder for me to cope. Prior to all of this becoming public, we are already making changes to improve our relationship. And while I could have chosen to leave, I ultimately made the decision to stay with the hopes of repairing our relationship together. Even though all of the things I've learned are incredibly disappointing and shocking, I don't think they are irredeemable. It's been very hard handling things unfolding this way, but I believe this will be a step in the right direction. With time, I hope everyone can focus on healing and being better versions of themselves. Okay. My immediate response to this is I think she is justified. The first response I have is she is totally justified in feeling she got screwed over because she said she didn't know this was happening and she didn't even want any of this to be public. So for all of that to just suddenly blow up in, let's say, a matter of, let's say, like 2-3 days, where essentially, let's say the entire street, like the entire internet knows, because Sykkuno is a popular streamer. Everybody suddenly knows about this drama between you and him. That must be horrifying. It's like being outside and like someone just rips all of your clothes off and you're forced to walk. This must be mortifying. I don't blame her for saying that she was horrified. Secondly, props to her for saying she wants to work through this. I don't understand how people are able to work through cheating, but I know people like that exist and have made it work. So, for her to say that she wants to work through this and through the relationship, despite everything that's happened, props. Props to you. I think this is very hard, but the fact that you chose to stick it out and work on the relationship, props. I think that does deserve some respect.
Been on her and how hurt she felt over not having a choice on whether this went public or not, saying that she understands that many people were hurt, but that her feelings felt like they weren't really considered at all. She'd call out people who sought to use this incident for profit and would say that even prior to this going public, she was already trying to work through things with Sykkuno in order to repair their relationship together. She'd end her statement by saying that even with everything that has come out, she doesn't consider Sykkuno's actions irredeemable. She's going to stay with him and try to fix their relationship in spite of everything. Listen, I can't imagine what she's been through in just these last few weeks. Finding out that your boyfriend has been cheating on you for years, that he slept with someone as recently as December 2025 behind your back, and that he was still trying to arrange a meetup with someone else as you were already trying to fix your relationship after what had happened in December. I mean, seriously, it's just insane. But I do think this needs to be said.
Oh boy, here comes the bomb. Here comes the bomb. Ooh. He said the 3 magic letters, B-U-T. Let's see what he has to say.
The fact that this went public is unfortunate, but people were genuinely hurt by Sykkuno lying to them that he was single. Maybe it's an unpopular opinion at this point. Let me know if you think it is, but if someone lied to me about being single, and I later found out that us having sex directly hurt their partner, made them depressed, and ruined or at least endangered a 5-year-long relationship, I wouldn't be able to live with myself. That's simply not what I would have signed up for. And seeing that he's a public figure who used this public standing to get with these women after lying to them, it felt like this going public was going to be inevitable. But that
okay, but this isn't about you though. You know what I mean? So, when he said but, he said, if I was in this position where I had sex with Sykkuno and I found out that it was, we hooked up when he was in a relationship with somebody else. Okay. Yeah, I can, yeah, it's, you will probably feel horrible about it, but this isn't you though. It's not your place. I mean, that's what I think. It's just, yeah. I don't think it's your place to say anything.
doesn't mean that her feelings are not valid, because they are. When it comes to me, I did have a hand in spreading this to the public by releasing my video so quickly, and I simply had no right to do so, and for that, I am sorry. Now, I've seen some people's reactions to this announcement, and yeah, As you might expect, it's not sunshine and roses. This whole topic has been extremely polarizing on the internet to begin with, and the girlfriend in particular is getting hate thrown her way with people calling her things like gold digger or Stockholm Syndrome victim for not leaving him. Here's the thing though. What matters here is that Saikuno stops his serial cheating streak and that he stops lying to women about him being single while turning them into homewreckers against their will. That's it. If she wants to stay, that's her choice. She doesn't deserve to get nasty things said about her though. I wish her the best, and I again would like to apologize if I directly contributed to any harm that she might have gone through. That was not my intention. Look, ultimately, my favorite YouTuber growing up was PewDiePie.
Oh my god. This can only go terribly. What? Oh no.
Yeah, I enjoyed his sense of humor, the fact that for the longest time, he was the sole runner of his channel, which gave him so much authenticity. But most of all, what I really liked about him was that he was not ashamed of being human. He would make mistakes, but when he would, he'd also sincerely apologize and work to learn from them. It's no secret that today, as a content creator, if you were to make a mistake, it would be so much easier to wait for it.
Dude. I don't really understand this infographic that's happening here. Why do we have a sexy tanned man in a hammock overlooking the beach? What's the point here?
To die down in a week and then continue business as usual, as if nothing had happened. I was even advised by some to do exactly that and not release this video. And I understand why. It unfortunately works. But to me, it's simply the right thing to do, even if it leads to more scrutiny and people disliking me.
Are you out of your fucking mind? Hold up. Run it back.
Screwed up and not release this video. And I understand why. It unfortunately works. But to me, it's simply the right thing to do, even if it leads to more scrutiny and people disliking me. I screwed up, I'm going to say sorry, and I will improve. So what am I going to change exactly?
Oh, that is bad. That is actually bad. You can't... Okay, so you have people around you, yes? Yo, you probably shouldn't post that video. So he's saying they've told him that. You're like, yo, I don't think the timing is good. I think this video in general is a bad idea. I don't think you should post it. And then he responds by saying,
but to me, it's simply the right thing to do, even...
The right thing to do. What do you mean? The right thing to do in terms of what? Making that number in your bank balance go up? Like, I know he deleted the video, but I wouldn't be surprised if he got a couple of bucks from it. What do you mean the right thing to do? And you know what? Let me clarify this again. I'm not gonna sit here and be like the absolute moral judgment here. But since I'm reacting to this, you give opinions, and here's my opinion. The right thing to do when it comes to drama, especially when you are a content creator that adds drama, that talks about drama, if there's any doubt in yourself, in the information that you put together, and when there's people telling you don't post it, you should probably hold off on it. If he doesn't want to delete the video, fine. Because he put in the work or whatever, fine. Just shut up for a while. I don't understand what he means by saying this is the right thing to do. Because when he says, okay, if he's saying it is the right thing to do for me to make this information public, I'm sorry, who made you the spokesperson of this whole catastrophe? Who made you the attorney? You know, slamming the gavel down, being like, "Yep, we need to make this known right now." You weren't even directly involved. This is by far. Ooh, I'm sorry, dude. This is by far one of the worst things you could have said.
If it leads to more scrutiny and people disliking me. I screwed up, I'm going to say sorry, and I will improve. So what am I going to change?
It's giving
exactly?
narcissists?
Well,
I
to
agree.
start, I'll never give another exception to a scoop or exclusive info. I will do what I've always done on this channel and talk about things that have already played out in public. I don't care if a 5-star general gives me info about World War III starting tomorrow. I will make the video after the nukes drop. I also realize now just how much you guys value my objectivity. I understand that I'm not perfect at it, and I probably never will be, but I'll always strive to present information to you in the most balanced way possible so that you can, in the end, form your own opinion. And finally, no matter how much this channel grows, I'll always ask you to be honest with me, and I promise to take accountability when needed, just like how I'm doing right now. So look, if the last video was a deal breaker for you and you want to unsubscribe, then I completely understand. But I won't let you leave without thanking you first. Take care, and may our paths cross again someday.
May our paths cross again someday.
On the other hand, if you're planning to stick around for future content, then I'd like to thank you so much for allowing me to make a mistake and grow from it. I say this all the time when I stream, but not a day goes by where I take any of this for granted. And the fact that so many of you watch me, whether you're driving home, chilling at work.
Holy shit. The iPad from 2013 with the home button. Holy shit. Sorry. See, isn't that giving narcissist? I'll get back to that comment.
Doing chores,
hold that thought.
I'm so honored to be able to make your day a bit less mundane with my videos. It's truly a blessing. Thank you. I also would like to thank my Discord mods, my friends, and my viewers.
Okay, so yeah, now he's thanking people. He's basically just wrapping it up. Bro's probably going to give a shout out or something. Okay, what you said, see, isn't that giving narcissist? I agree. It's giving very narcissistic behavior because the majority of this video, okay, there were portions of him saying, yes, I'm sorry, and here's what I'm going to do to improve myself. I think that's good. Okay? I think that is good for you to admit and make a plan as to how you are going to improve yourself. Good. You know what? Props. I'll give you respect there. I will give credit where credit is due. Here's how I see content creation. Whether you only make YouTube videos, whether you only stream, or whether you do both, or if you make videos anywhere, right? I think in order to be a content creator, you need to have an ego. Because let's be honest, at least from how I understand it, there is no way a truly humble human being could sit there and say, yeah, I think that I can handle having millions of subscribers on my YouTube channel. Or somebody being like, I can handle having thousands of people watch me live, reacting to stuff, or playing video games, or whatever. I think to be a good content creator, you need to have an ego that tells you, no matter how tiny it is, I deserve this. And then you back it up with your actions. I'm going to work hard to reach this level of success because I believe I have the opinions or XYZ to be this online content creator, regardless of what it is. I think it turns into narcissism when you start to genuinely believe that no matter how much shit you get online, you are justified because you think your reasons make sense. So when I look at this guy, that is the vibe that I get. He is more than capable of admitting when he made a mistake, but the vibe that I'm getting from him is him sitting there being like, I still think I am justified in what I did because it made sense to me because, like he said before, with that little magnifying glass PNG stock image or whatever, it was the right thing to do. He thinks it made sense for him, and then he got called out for it, and now he's apologizing. I will give credit where credit is due. He apologized, and he is making the steps to be better. Still doesn't take away from the fact that this vibe that I got from this whole video is just blatant narcissism. And I am no psychologist. I don't know the ins and out of narcissism, but I don't think you need to be a psychologist to know when you are dealing with a narcissist. because TLDR, right? Narcissism is basically me, 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 me. I think especially nowadays with the internet, it's pretty easy to spot a narcissist. I really just don't like how he was talking about the girlfriend and how he was minimizing the situation and the effect that it had. But it really didn't even seem like a great apology. It was really him trying to glaze over the whole thing. Yeah, for the most part, I would agree. Again, I think this video would have been so much better if he didn't take those portions where he's like, here's what XQC was commenting. I don't know why he's commenting on my video and this and that and this and that, and he brings up PewDiePie for whatever reason. Just focus on your actions. Just focus on your actions and be like, yo, I fucked up. I was biased and I've been minimizing the opinions and voices of people that should not have been treated that way. And I am sorry. And yeah. Honestly, if he only said those things in like a 1-minute clip, I think that would have been so much better. You know what I mean? So yeah. And I also don't like how he's trying to comment on them trying to work out their relationship. It's not anyone else's place to say. Exactly. So I was actually pretty careful with what you said, because when I read the girlfriend's apology, I did have this urge, right, to be like, oh, well, I wouldn't have worked through this. I would have just left him. But I didn't focus on that. I will 100% admit it crossed my mind, being like, yo, how could you stay with somebody who's a serial cheater? But that's me though. I'm not involved in this. You know what I mean? If she, aka the main person that's involved in all of this, if after everything she decides that she wants to try to work out the relationship for whatever reasons that I have no right knowing, all right, fine. I think that is commendable of you. You know, I hope it works out. It's not my place to put my opinions into the situation saying, oh, here's what I would have done, because I wasn't involved. That doesn't change the fact that I can't have an opinion. I do have an opinion, but it's the matter of, like I said before, right? Knowing when to shut up. It's not your place to say. I get that. I have the same thoughts, but when in doubt, it's not our place to say, exactly, you and I are on the same wavelength. Everybody is entitled to their own opinions, but it's not everybody's place to let everyone else know what they think. It is because we're both Korean. I'm going to assume that is mainly because in like Korean culture, you need to be very aware of where you stand within the group, because it's like always respect mom and dad, always like whatever. But yeah, it's like know where you stand with people. So like that's like drilled in our heads. It's like a shared experience. It's like a canon event for like Asian people everywhere, or maybe it's just Koreans. I don't know. But you know what I mean? It's like, I'm not saying don't have an opinion, but what I am saying is know when to hold it. You don't gotta say everything that comes out of your mouth. Think about it. And honestly, after you think about it, if you still have doubts whether or not you should say it, I will give you the 100% success rate to minimize catastrophe. You know what it is? After thinking about it on whether or not you should say it, if you still have doubts, don't say it. Wabam. There you go. There you go.